Hi there, everybody. Craig Can, Frank Nobilo, the Rico Women's British among the big events this week. And why are we talking about that? I think you have to. Julie Inkster has the lead after day one. Now, there's so much focus on Annika Sorensen's last major. You've got Lorena Ochoa, her first defense of a major title. But it's Julie Inkster looking for 8 major titles in her career.
Well, it's phenomenal how she's just escaped basically the forefront of the ladies' game. 7 major championships. Remember, Annika has 10, who's about to retire. But, yeah, Julie Inkster, she gets no love, and yet she's beating all these young players. They said how much the LPGA has changed, how young it is now. And then you've got the 48-year-old that shoots 65 around Sunningdale, which is a nice old golf course. Good fit. Old golf course, Julie Inkster, maybe a win. Maybe number 8.
48 years old.
Yeah,
the only major she doesn't have, the Women's British. It would be interesting. This is her 100th major championship that she's playing. And if Phil Mickelson had 7 majors, we'd be saying one of the greatest of all time. Julie Inkster just doesn't get enough props. Let's talk about Mickelson for a second. Nice under par round in Akron at the WGC event this week. How important is it for Mickelson to not only contend, but maybe win this thing going into the PGA?
Well, I think he's got to shake off the British Open very, very quickly, Craig. I think we keep going back to the US Open, remember at Winged Foot, and how that stayed with him, how he's yet to win a major championship since. So I think if we just go back to the British Open, you've got to say, Phil, you've been a little out of whack lately in these major championships. So a big week here would go a long way for Phil and his fans. But the way Phil played today, it was rough, but at least it was imaginative. It was just Phil playing golf. That was a good thing to see.
U.S. Senior Open, Greg Norman, level par after day one. John Cook, again, he was right there. You talk about bounce back or shaking something off. Apparently he has no issues with what happened last Sunday.
I think you see a lot in a person's character. That one of the big things you have to be in this game is resilient, and John Cook showed that. Number one, you've got to get on a long flight. You've just been beaten in a playoff for a senior major championship, and you're teeing it up in another one. That's the one thing that tour does. When you come and basically you show that type of game on a totally different golf course, totally different conditions, that says a lot for John Cook. But we knew that before.
All right, lots of golf this week. For Frank Nobilo, Craig Can. So long.